My name is Amy McCracken. I started with Sunbeam Family Services in 2009 when we opened Educare. When Educare opened, it was my first group of children, and they kind of trickled in. I believe Michael was probably my fourth student in my classroom. In many ways, he was a typical toddler, but in many ways, he wasn't. Speech was probably one of our biggest obstacles. He wasn't able to speak, at least at that time, understandably. Michael had a very blank stare. It was hard for me to connect to him. I was panicked. How could I reach him? What were my keys? What could I find? But as Sunbeam does, Sunbeam always tells you you can do it, and they always support you, and they are always there to have your back. And I had lots of support. He loved to run, so we're gonna run. I'm gonna try to connect to him through running. At the beginning, that was the only time that he would laugh, and just wild, wild laughter. He would love to run. It was part of his sensory needs to have that input in his body. I had to make sure he was connected to me. I used to have to wear a special apron on my pants because every day at lunch, he would touch my leg and pat my leg. And so it started off with that, and then it very subtly changed. It was something at first I didn't really notice. And it wasn't until we would print off pictures frequently for our classroom, and I think it was that I started noticing that there was a light, there was a spark. The looks that I got from him weren't blank anymore. They were filled with joy, and they were filled with eagerness. We were all able to start enjoying each other. Him bonding with other children started happening, and him bonding with other caregivers in the program that would come in blossomed. That was exactly where Michael belonged, and me learning how to meet his needs was critical to my career, and then it also was critical for Michael to be able to move forward.
Inasmuch Foundation went down the path to figure out what would be a way we could impact our community on early education. The brain develops at a very fast pace, really 90% of it by 3. If you're not properly stimulating and activating that brain during those years, then there can be long-term consequences. We felt like it was something that Edith Kinney Gaylord, our founder, would have been really supportive of. She was passionate about children and mothers. She was passionate about helping the most disadvantaged. And so bringing Educare to Oklahoma City certainly hit all of those points. Obviously, Oklahoma City Educare is a big part of Sunbeam. So are the early childhood partnerships and the different early ed centers around the city. We have thousands of families that need high-quality early education, and we are providing it to many of them, but there's many more out there that need it, so we need to keep pushing to serve more and more.
How are you? There's hundreds and hundreds of other Michaels. Again, it goes back to what Sunbeam does is provide hope.
Yeah, I think that's the truth. I think he picked me. All those memories happened right here in this yard and in that room and in this building. So I'm so lucky.